You're listening to the Cool CLE Show.
Hello, and welcome to the Cool CLE Show, brought to you by CoolCleveland.com, putting you in touch with cool events, people, news, and neighborhoods in the Cleveland region. This week, we're getting our geek on to learn about Akron Comicon happening November 3rd and 4th. But first, here's some more events I think should be on your calendar. The Kenny Wayne Shepherd Band plays the Canton Palace Theater on November 2nd. The Gordon Square neighborhood celebrates Day of the Dead with altar installations, arts, Latin food, live music, and a parade at 3:30 on November 3rd. It's the biggest show and tell in Cleveland. It's called Maker Faire. It's a family-friendly showcase of invention and creativity at the Cleveland Public Library on November 3rd from 10 a.m. Get ready to shop and dance the night away at Cleveland's favorite fashion show, Hullabaloo 2018. It's the 7th and final time, happening on November 3rd. Cleveland fashion designer Valerie Mayan will present her handmade collection called Sweet Escape at one of the newest venues in town called Madison. Cool CLE Show listeners can get a discount on tickets with a promo code CLE Show. November 4th, Barnegie Hall in Avon Lake hosts Veterans Tribute Concert, a celebration of songs created through the partnership of soldiers and songwriters. It's free to all veterans and a $15 suggested donation for others. You can contact Music on a Mission for more details. Join the Cleveland Museum of Natural History for a discussion on the state of Lake Erie. Climate change, commercial overuse, and pollution are just some of the topics that are going to be discussed on November 7th. And these guys, Hello Bandit, a 4-piece indie rock band from Cleveland, will be performing alongside locals Window Dogs and Discount Nostalgia from Bowling Green on November 3rd at the Coda. This is a track available off their Sands EP called Worst in Me.
so hard for me to be happy, 'cause the past looks better than it was, and things aren't always as bad as they seem, no. When the worst in me gets the best of me. When the worst in me gets the best of me.
That was Hello Bandit with Worst in Me. Catch them live at the Coda on November 3rd. All right, well, we've got an awesome Comic-Con coming up on November 3rd and 4th. It's the Akron Comicon, and I've got one of the people behind this great event, Michael Savine. Thanks for joining us, Michael.
Well, thank you for having me.
So I saw some very complimentary reviews on social media about your Comic-Con, and so I just wanted to find out, like, what makes it so popular with fans?
Well, for fans, that's probably the number one reason. And when you have fans putting on a show of the medium, you know, the result is going to be fan friendly. We call our tagline is fans first, fans always. So as comic book fans, what we want is a comic book convention. And that's how we launched ourselves back in 2012, and now we're headed into our 7th year, and we've remained true to our opening mission.
Yeah, so I read that this isn't a free-for-all Comic-Con. This is really just all about the artwork. It's about the creators, the stories, past and present, and I really like that. I liked how you guys are kind of keeping true to Comic-Con, because so many Comic-Cons nowadays, it's like anything goes.
Yeah, exactly. We always say that our slogan characterizes our commitment to keep the comic in Comic-Con. We've seen, there's San Diego, they're responsible. Actually, they own Comic-Con as a word.
Okay.
But they have strayed from their mission over the years, and they're more about media than they are the comics. Mm-hmm. Although they do have comics, there's no question about that.
Yeah.
But other shows like Wizard and so many others, they become more of a media event where they have people come to the show that, you know, are from TV and movies that have nothing to do with comics. Now, we do have media people come, but they do have something involved with comics. Mm-hmm. For instance, we'll be having Red Brown this year, who was the 1970s Captain America in 2 movies, I believe, that came out in 1977 or 79. So, and he's been to our show before, and that's kind of a general rule for us. If they didn't play a comic book character, they're not in the show.
Yeah. So no
year,
tenuous links. It's got to be a direct link to the comics.
Right.
Right.
Now here's something we're doing. You mentioned Monster Alley. We put on a show called Monster Fest Mania, and it was a completely different type of show, and we really had a good time doing it. And we've decided that we want to sort of bring those 2 shows together, and this is how we justify it. For instance, the Son of Ghoul, he has nothing to do with comics.
No, he doesn't.
However, here's how we tie it in. Back in the 60s, when Marvel Comics was becoming the most popular comic company in existence, they had mail order that Stan Lee and Flo Steinberg, who is his girl Friday, as they refer to her, were doing mail order, and it was science fiction and classic horror films and all the things that you saw in the 40s and 50s and so forth. And you could buy that stuff through Marvel Comics. So comics have always had a broad subject area, sci-fi, horror, westerns, and on and on. So I happen to have that mail order. I collect memorabilia, so I have that mail order stuff that Marvel sent out in the 60s. And it, to me, justifies the theme, but more than that, the television host was the gateway for many kids in the 60s to discover these old sci-fi and horror films. And being Cleveland, Ohio, a big major city in the country, we had a television station, actually a couple, 3. And, they had a horror host, Ghoulardi, in the 60s, and his successor is the Son of Ghoul, who has set a record, by the way, world record as being the longest horror host in costume, period. And so that's how he became a part of the show, because he was the introduction to all these themes that we end up buying comics and supporting Marvel for.
And a nice local touch to it all. I mean, at the end of the day, we're very proud of all of these things that come out of Northeast Ohio. And another big theme to your event is a Cleveland, legendary story of Superman. That seems to be sort of the rock star of the event. Tell us a little bit about all of the different artists and what you've got going on, sort of celebrating that story.
Well, this year we brought back John Bogdanov, who was illustrator for Superman, and he also created the character Steel. He co-created it with Louise Simonson. So he'll be back, and he led our 75th anniversary celebration. So we're looking forward to see John. We have Brett Breeding, who is a very prolific inker who did a lot of the comics, the Superman comics. For instance, the famous issue 75 in the second volume, where it shows Superman's emblem tattered and torn in the wind because it's the death of Superman. So he'll be there. Let's see. There's those are the two major ones that worked on the series. But then a lot of our guests, like Tony Isabella, he's done Superman stories. Mike Barr, he's done Superman story. Craig Boldman's done a Superman story. Barry Kitson, Chris Sprouse. We have quite a few people in the show who will be a part of the panel, which we will have. It'll take place on Saturday, and we may repeat it on Sunday. We're not sure. We haven't made that choice yet, but we may we dedicate like 50 minutes discussion to Superman. He is the character that solidified comics in the mainstream of society in 1938. So, when you think of comics, most people think superheroes, and obviously Superman was the first one. Now, me, on the other hand, I like all the genres. So, I'm more about not superhero comics than I am about superhero comics.
I'm partial to She-Hulk, actually. Thank you.
Oh, great. That's fun. Yeah, I remember when it came out on the newsstand. So I bought 2 copies, actually. So.
I've got a few as well.
As I seem to do with everything.
I know,
think
right?
I buy 2 copies of everything.
I know, but and all of the and all of like the movies now, like they're turning the superheroes into female characters. That's kind of freaking me out a little bit. But and I can't imagine Thor as a woman, but I guess it'll work. I don't know. So who knows?
Yeah, matter of fact, I have to make an admission. I don't buy new comics anymore. I stopped. There's over 80 years of comic book history to look at, and I'm spending my time looking backwards and enjoying what's gone before. So,
and it's interesting what you say about the artwork. My husband and I'll admit it, a bit of a nerd. My husband's probably more of a nerd, but we go into comic book stores and we'll just like flip through the pages, and yeah, we really like we're captured by the cover. And you know, I have no idea what the story is, but the cover is just are sometimes just so amazing. There's so much action and how they capture all of that movement in such a still, vibrant, still image. I think that's it's very interesting artwork. So anyway, well,
covers sell.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, they still in all media, I guess they do. All right, so Akron Comicon, and what I also love about your event is it's affordable. Like, this is family friendly. And you're not going to have to go bankrupt to get a ticket. It's like $10. Kids under 13 are free. Happening November 3rd and 4th at the Goodyear Hall. It's the Akron Comicon. Don't miss it, guys. You're going to enjoy it. Thanks so much, Michael, for telling us about the event.
Oh, my pleasure. Thank you very much.
Now we have music from Cleveland's Tim Moon. His theatric indie pop blends inspiration from Elton John, Ben Folds 5, and Queen. He'll be at Mahal's in Lakewood on November 16th. Here's his new single, Addict.
When the world feels broken and you've got nowhere to turn, just hold your head up high. I'll be there in a moment. Be your rock when you're feeling soft. So when you feel like giving up and you've got nowhere to turn, just give me a call. I'll be there in a moment. Be your rock when you're feeling soft. I'll never give up on you. I'll never give up on you. And I can stay for a moment, maybe for the night, but I'll be gone when the moment comes. Give you false hope. I'll only say what needs said. And if you stay for a moment, I'll tell you when you're sober that I'm not who you think I am. I'll never give up on you. I'll never give up. I can stay for a moment, maybe for the night, but I'll be gone when the moment comes. You say anything. You say anything. You say anything. You say anything. Give up on you. I'll never give up on you. And I can stay for a moment, maybe for the night, but I'll be gone when the moment comes. But I'll be gone when the moment comes. But I'll be gone when the moment comes.
That was Cleveland's Tim Moon with Addict. You can see him at Mahal's on November 16th. And that's it for this week. Big thanks to Michael from the Akron Comicon for telling us about what to expect at their event in November. Also, big thanks to Hello Bandit and Tim Moon for the music. You've been listening to the Cool CLE Show, brought to you by CoolCleveland.com. Have a good one.